What does it mean to be human? What does it truly entail to live in harmony within oneself and with all life on Earth? Heartfelt welcome and thank you for tuning into the One Voice podcast. I'm your host, Samuel, and with the support of the Alruna Foundation, I'm on a mission to share the voices of visionary artists across the earth with humanity. This podcast is my humble attempt at contributing to the fostering of an evolved human consciousness. It serves as a platform for integrating and weaving together wisdom from diverse cultures, religions, and traditions in the beauty of creative expression. In this episode of the One Voice podcast, I am joining with my friend Zakarias Hauffman in Arctic Norway. Zakarias is a creator of music, content, and immersive experiences. As a professional music producer, burner, and with a deep passion for nature, he merges these expressions in his own unique way. We will speak about playing piano on mountains, living in the north of Norway, and why creative expression matters. I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Hello there, cosmic brother.
Hello there.
I've seen you in the depths of the universe.
Tell me more about this depth, please.
In the creaking crevices of the human experience, there Zakarias appeared on a mountain with a piano.
Alone,
With his
naked,
drone.
with his drone. Yes, that is how I want to be imagined.
Miserable.
Miserable and cold.
Remember me! Trying to fly his drone while playing the piano.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
So, welcome everyone to today's episode with Mr. Zakarias Hauffman.
Thank you very much.
Zakarias is creativity, a creative being, a creative soul with plenty of experience working with music, and not just that, but also following his passion in life and to like unravel the human experiences in his own ways. And 2 days ago, I was attending this mountain concert that Zakarias arranged on a mountaintop outside of Buda in the Arctic North, and that was quite something. So, how was that for you?
It was a thing I wanted to create it, and I wanted to create it for a long time. And I've been having this vision since I came to the north of Norway, and to create dance floors and create events on mountaintops, and been spending a lot of time figuring out how to do it, and slowly this has been manifesting, and this was the second concert, and I think it was like 40 people that I got up to in the middle of
It
nowhere.
was like half Buda.
Yes, half Buda. Buda is 50,000 people, but
Oh, whoa.
it's like...
Well, you never see anyone.
Nah, that's true. Like 0.01%. We're there.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, this was like I guess a culmination of a lot of work, and I know you spent the whole winter in Portugal and Spain also playing piano on mountaintops, and we're gonna speak little bit more about that later. But would you like to tell us a little bit about this place that we're in the north, Buda? Where are we located?
So we are located about 3 hours with boat away from Lofoten.
Where is that?
Lofoten is above the Arctic Circle, so yeah, almost exactly where the Arctic Circle starts in the Scandinavian geographics. And there are a lot of mountains here that is meeting the ocean, so the landscape is very uh, dramatic, and the weather here is also very dramatic. So it's a very dramatic atmosphere where you are. Um, one day it could be 28 degrees now in the summer. The next day it could be snowing. So it's this super intense, weird thing, uh, being and where we are.
Yeah, it's not for the faint-of-hearted when it comes to weather. This is kind of where all the Atlantic low pressures are created, and they just constantly hit the Norwegian coastline. And up here, it's especially it's also special because of the Gulf Stream. The ocean is quite warm, so it never really freezes along the coast, and therefore it's also very green and lush. So it's like a weird rainforest thing with mountains, big mountains, and the deep fjords and the ocean. It's absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. So, is that one of the reasons you want to play on mountains? Did you come up with this thing before you came here?
I always wanted to go to the north of Norway, and I had a long plan of doing it for a long time, but never really took the time. And then I started a journey traveling the world where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna end in Norway. So I'm gonna travel the world the opposite direction of how we spin, and started that journey. So I went to Brazil and this South America, South Americas, and then COVID came. So then I just had to go back to Sweden again, and then I was like, how can I? Okay, but I can still go to Norway. So that's a big part of how I came to Norway. Like I had intention of being there in the end, and it just became faster.
All right, so you were about to travel the world, and then you made it to South America, and then COVID came.
Yeah.
So you had to wrap it up earlier, and
Yeah, I took the
Earlier.
second last airplane from Chile.
Okay.
Because when I was in Chile, it was in South America when COVID came. It was this weird. They were like, COVID doesn't exist, COVID doesn't exist, and they have this mate thing. I was like, COVID needs to exist here. And then suddenly, everything just exploded, and they were locking down everything. In Chile, they were having these demonstrations where the military was shutting down, shutting down the demonstrations and shutting down people. And when COVID came, they found this as an opportunity to lock everyone in with military. And I didn't know Spanish. I just came to Chile 2 days ago. I didn't know anyone,
Wow.
and was like, well, now I'm gonna get locked in the middle of nowhere. So my first thought was, well, I could stay here, but it feels very insecure. So that's why I left.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah, I think so too. It led me here.
Yeah. And perhaps we could dive a little bit into your background, because you got a music background.
Yes.
Would like to share a little bit about like what music has been for you and how it kind of evolved to the stage where you are today.
My musical journey started playing the violin when I was 5, and then I did that for until I was 20. I went to these prestigious schools from I was 9, and then I got into high school, and then I went to the Royal Music Academy of Sweden. Started working at the opera when I was 12 as a singer, and yeah, worked with a lot of artists through the years, and been producing music since I was 22, and got this label, and I got the opportunity to write music to all of Asia. Got these cool artists.
Yeah.
With millions of streams that you could work with. And I did that for 3 years. Wrote some music for apps, wrote some music for computer games. And suddenly I just found myself, not enjoying the things I did.
And this was digital, like producing on a computer.
Yeah, it was
music.
digital producing on very much like that. And getting into that kind of music industry was a really good experience, but I realized I didn't like it. So how that experience was for me was that you got these emails, and these emails were like, okay, in 1.5 years, this big artist is looking for this kind of song. We want it to sound like this and this and this and this. And you have 1 week to write it. So it became really stressful. Like, okay, now I need to figure out how to make, the new Bruno Mars song. That sounds like this. Okay. And then you listen to the Bruno Mars song and you're like starting to, okay, these are the chords. This is how it sounds. Now I need to find a singer that sounds similar. Yeah. It was a really cool, fast experience. But after 3 years, I just found myself really stressed. My body was hurting, and I just wanted to travel the world and play piano. So I quit my job. I sold my things in the studio. I rented out my studio, and then I started traveling the world and started playing piano music.
While you were traveling?
Yeah. I released my first piano song on my birthday when I was lying with PTSD from having gone to a party and in the middle of Salta in Argentina. I didn't know anyone, and I've gotten in a car with 5 people, and suddenly some guy that I sort of knew just said, "You need to run." And so he like opened the door, and I just started running in the middle of the night in the middle of nowhere, and I had 5 persons running after me. And then I got to the hostel and just went into a spa, and I was like, oh my god, I really need to learn Spanish.
Wait, I don't get what just happened. They chased you?
Yeah, I ran away. I'm really fast at running.
But why did they chase you?
I don't know. I don't talk Spanish. I just.
But you were in a car, and then
Yeah, we were in this party.
yeah,
It was the Carnaval.
yeah.
And I met this dude at the hostel. We were having really fun and had a really good time. And they were like, "Oh, this is cool party where they dance." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna join." And then we went there, and then we like got into. Then it was like, "Oh, we're taking this car," and he was really nice, but the people in the car, I guess, weren't that nice.
And they wanted like your money or something.
I guess so. I just.
But you were too fast.
I was too fast.
Oof. It's a good skill when you're climbing up mountains too.
Yeah.
Fast guy. And then you released your song.
Yeah, I lied there and was like, oh, what do I really want to do in my life? Like meeting that, meditating on that feeling that was right there, and meeting the anxiety of being in that situation. A lot of things that were like, what's important to me, came out, and I was like, well, I've already made this piano song. I have recorded it, but I feel insecure in releasing it. And I was like, well, if I can handle running away from 5 people in the middle of the night, I can surely release just a song that I love, that I've created, and that's been created through me.
Amazing. So that was the start of a shift in the way you approached music, kind of.
Yeah, it had started earlier, but that was when I took control over the shift.
Was music one of your big joys as a child? Like when you grew up, what was the big joy of yours?
Electronic music, piano, and being outside and moving my body.
Mm. So the combination.
Yeah.
And what was one of your big challenges?
When I was younger,
Yeah.
concentration was a big challenge. When I was younger, I always had music inside my head. I still do constantly have a lot of music inside my head, and I always thought that was a normal thing, that everyone went around with music that no one is hearing inside their head. And I think it was at 32 I realized that no, that's just my creative expression. But when I was younger, I like they were asking me to read, and what I had in my head was just a tune playing, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this tune. Why is it there? This is really irritating.
So you had constant piano music. It was mostly piano.
Yeah, mostly piano, but also just a lot of music. It could be orchestral music. It could be so much.
Just moving in your mind.
Yeah.
That's so
But
fascinating.
like now, if I say orchestral music, I hear an orchestral piece inside my head.
Like improvised in your head,
Yeah.
or is it like, do you hear Bach sonata? Do you hear like a?
No, I don't know what it's like now. I hear this like this thing right now. It's like a big musical piece in there.
No, it sounds like that's the mind of a musical genius, someone who constantly are. But it sounds kind of annoying as well if you just want to sleep and you have like a huge symphony.
Well, I don't know if it's a a genius thing. I just think that's how my mind is. Um, that's my creative expression.
Yeah.
It walks in that path, and it sings inside my head, and I think it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do with it until I was my age now.
What do you do with it now?
I play it.
Right.
And then I release it. And when I played it and released it, then it goes silent. It's so nice.
Mm. Do you have to release it, or is it enough for just playing it?
No, I have to release it.
Ah,
It's a weird thing.
that's so cool. It's
Yeah.
like spirit or something within you is wanting this thing to come through, and unless you actually give it to the world, it's gonna keep on blocking your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to the question of where does creativity come from, or where does music come from? We spoke about this yesterday.
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, you're smart.
Well, my personal experience is that it just exists, and everyone has different kind of creative expressions.
Yeah.
And where it comes from me, it's just it comes through me. Not it's not me.
Mm.
It's just a thing. And
So it's like it exists. All of it exists already.
yeah, it has to exist already. If you like look at the block theory, by Einstein, then like time isn't linear, so everything should exist at the
Exactly.
same time. So that's all the music should already exist.
Yeah, and that goes to the quantum.
Nice.
One voice might be changing name to the quantum wheel, but the quantum is also this kind of this realm where there is no past, there is no future. It's all kind of energy, which we perceive as linear, like there's the past and there's the future, but actually it's all because we're in this 3D reality. But kind of behind it is the space where everything has already happened and everything that will happen, which means that all possibilities are there as a certain frequency, and it's like we can tap into that, like it's almost like our mind and our body and our heart is like a radio transmission, like we can receive and but also give information when we tap into like these specific ideas or musical pieces or whatever. It's like most scientific researchers or like the true masterpieces, they never came from like hours of intense thinking about it. It was usually out on a walk or like in nature or doing something else, that it just popped like this. So yeah, it's cool because that means, yeah, what does that mean?
Well, we are on a giant rock, traveling in 100,700 kilometers an hour around a giant gas ball in the middle of nowhere.
Whoa.
And on this rock, people are like saying, "Oh, I know some things," but for me, or people are saying, "Oh, this is how you should live," but when I think about it, I'm like, well, I have 80 summers. That's what I get. I get 80 summers to do things that I really want to experience, and taking the effort to do that on this rock seems like a good idea.
Mm.
And I'd rather live 60 of those 80 summers doing, a thing that I think is really fun than have 80 things and being really miserable.
Them working a miserable jobs every summer for 6.
I don't think it's a miserable job, but there's like this. They have asked old people that are about to die, like, what are the things you regret in life? And one of those things is, I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish I worked less. I wish I did things that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, your passions.
Your passions. And for me, that, I wish when you listen to people that are about to go to the next stage, that's some really deep knowledge there.
Yeah.
If in how you should try to change your direction in life. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, yeah, this is the human experience that's been going through a lot of different experiences, and these are the joint thought things that come up to them. Okay, let's listen to it and then follow the other path.
Yeah, that really puts this. It sheds away the bullshit. It becomes real, and also to add to that, telling the people you love that you love them, like expressing that, is something a lot of people wish they did more when they die. That they told their loved ones that they love them, and also forgiveness, to forgive them, to forgive people. And no, I think that's really powerful to bring into this discussion, because it points to like what's really worth and valuable to make out of this very precious time and this human experience. And I know you also had you have personal connection to people passing away. in your life, so I know it means there's weight in what you say.
Yeah, yeah. My mother died 2 years ago, and my father is dying now. He's gonna pass away in a month or so,
Mm.
and it's one of the deepest connections with life I've had when I spent the last month by my mother's side. Nursing her, taking care of her, and just being there for her on her last 10 breaths. Yeah, my sister who gave birth has given birth. Said like this is such a huge moment. It's like giving birth, because many women are saying like it's and men too are saying like this is a huge thing in life. And when she was like, yeah, this is a huge thing that I'm so appreciative of experiencing, but also it's like almost bigger than giving birth. And
Yeah.
yeah, it gives a good perspective to life.
Yeah. Really, I've been very curious about death since a young age, or like this portal into the next stage of the mystery of the journey, and yeah, it's also very fascinating how we, as a culture, kind of have pushed it away and are hiding it in hospitals, in like hospice care, and don't speak about it and don't pretend like it's not there, while it is like this integral part of life. It's death, because at some we live in a world, in a paradigm where we believe that's the end of all of this. After that, it's just a black, or like a the zzz you would see on an old television. But yeah, in my own truth, it's completely obvious that no, 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 no. This experiences keep on moving forward. Energy can't be destroyed, and so, but still, yeah. What's the most valuable thing I can contribute with to the world in my life? Have you found yours? Or have you thought about it?
The most valuable thing
Or like
in
your
my
the
life.
gift, kind of one of your.
Well, I'm feeling more and more that I spend a lot of time removing me, because it's not about me. When we did the mountaintop, when we did the mountaintop experience for 2 days, 2 days ago, there was I had got confirmed that I was going to get help carrying things up and
Yeah.
fixing things, and getting those kinds of the support that I would have loved to have.
Yeah.
And then we needed to move the concert one day earlier, and then so many of the people couldn't do it anymore. And so I was like, okay, now that means that I will have to now do the job of 4 or 5 people. And everyone was late. So it became like this tremendous stress for me. Oh, wow, I'm having 40 people coming, and I need to get all of this done. And then I'm just, this isn't about me. It's not about my gift. It's not about what I'm gonna give. It's more about like how can I just contribute with stuff that how can I just contribute with things that brings me energy, even if I stand there alone on a mountain carrying hundreds of kilos and being super tired. How can I just be happy in that situation? Maybe that's a gift. I don't know. Like, no, my gift is just bringing good vibes. I think, or I know that if I'm a little bit better for myself, I can be a little bit better for others. That's it.
What does that mean?
Taking care of myself, taking care of the things I need to take care of, grounding myself, doing the work, not projecting, not thinking, why is this happening to me? Meeting negative thoughts with a mindset of being attacked or feeling judged or feeling sad. Instead being like, okay, this exists inside of me, I'll expand my inner landscape so all these emotions can be here. And with that, I can also, when I meet someone that is in that kind of state, I can just be there and be loving and supportive. And if it's too much, then I can also say, hey, I need to back away for now, in a loving and kind way. But that's for me, like being a little bit better for myself so I can be a little bit better for others.
Yeah. Nice, thank you. Do you have any, if you're feeling you're in a bad place, a really shitty place inside of yourself, and you want to shift your emotion, what do you do?
I meditate, I work out, I drink water, I eat, and I sleep. And I hang out with friends.
Oof. Quite simple. Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Couldn't have said it better myself. So, what have you come to value the most in life over the course of the years? Like, is there anything that you treasure more now than you would have done 10 years ago? Moving forward as well.
Life.
Life?
Yeah.
La vida.
La vida loca. No, it's like the more years that pass, life is like waves. They go up and down. So you have these down periods and you have these up periods where a lot of things are happening, and then it's down and up and down and up. And I feel, and my experience is that those waves, you can either try to I don't know, you can either feel like when you're in a down place, then you can be really down, and when you're in a high place you can be really, really high. But like distancing yourself from it a little bit, and just enjoy the experience of the whole landscape. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like I'm enjoying life more and more and more.
Even the downs.
Yeah, even the downs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really key, to be grateful even when it sucks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks.
Yeah. And when it sucks, that's also the point where you understand how it feels when it's good. Because if you only had the good times, then you would never know what it feels to like you wouldn't understand what good time is if you didn't have a bad time.
No.
So you need that kind of experience.
Yeah.
You need to be able to feel lonely, so you appreciate hanging out with friends. You need to be hungry to understand how nice it is to eat.
Yeah.
Um,
You need the night in order to appreciate the day.
yeah.
Like here, where you got like 4 months of only darkness.
Yeah.
Then you really appreciate when the sun comes back.
Hello, sun! Finally, you're here. Yes.
You look like a pale skeleton. Yeah, and it's like we spoke about playfulness as well, or maybe I spoke about playfulness. But being able to play with these moves of energy and emotions, and instead of being like, I don't want to feel this, I want to feel like that, and you become rigid. It's like when we stop taking it too seriously and move with it, it all kind of shifts in time.
Yeah, I was, but for me, I'm gonna connect back to the creative thing. I also think that when I'm in a downwards energy, then the creative expression becomes bigger, and that's when I usually find time to release something, release a music piece. Usually they come in those points for me, which sucks sometimes, because when I'm playing, often I'm like, why is everything in the minor key? God damn it. And I'm like sitting I've been sitting for like the last 2 weeks, like, okay, I'm gonna
try to play.
I'm gonna do something in major. It's like, I'm like, I just don't get the vibe.
It's just lame, happy people pretending to. No, I love this minor Christian Löffler, and this it suits also the climate that we're in, which is a bit. I mean, not now in the summer, but like the Nordic has a bit of minor in it.
Yeah.
Like this melancholic autumn, wintry
vibe,
but it's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very beautiful and needed. Yeah, but to go back to that, it's also just profoundly fascinating how certain tones can resonate with your own energy at certain points throughout the day and throughout the week and throughout the month. And that also, like, to go back to how it's all frequency. When I'm in a specific frequency, I will attune to certain like melody or a certain like tone. And it's also in this way we can shift. For me, at least, music is perhaps the most powerful way. Music and breathing and nature. But music is a direct way to like also direct my own state of consciousness and awareness. So yes, you went to Spain and Portugal this past winter and did a whole road trip with your van, which name is
Fox Broski the First.
Fox Broski the First. There might be a second one.
When this one breaks down, yeah.
How old is Fox Broski?
He is soon to be. He's 39.
Whoa.
So he's gonna be 40 next year.
Oof. almost from World War Two.
Yeah, almost. It's from the Cold War.
It's from how much fuel does he consume per?
Yeah, he consumes a lot. I'm constantly surprised how hungry he is.
He can't get enough of that good old gasoline.
No, it's like the most expensive one too. It's the 98 octanic. Yeah. So it's like, come on, man, steal my money.
Come on, bro.
Take my money.
But you went down to Portugal and Spain for a few months, quite
Yeah.
a few months, and you played on a bunch of mountaintops. Was that the vision of this journey? What was the purpose of this?
So the purpose was that I I was here in Buda and got separated with my then partner, and I decided to stay in Buda. So I decided to stay here alone, and I just found a new kind of work as an engineer, and I was like, well, I really wanted to be in Norway, so I stayed, and then after a while, the workplace they had to downsize, so they were like, hey, there is a big chance we're going to downsize, and I was the last employee that got hired.
Yeah.
So so when that thing started happening, I was like, okay, I'm in Norway. I'm in the middle of, I don't know anyone. I just moved here. I am about to lose my job. Well, this is an intense feeling. So and something that hit me while I was doing that was, okay, but I'm now all alone. This is a great opportunity to just find out what I would like to do. If I wasn't, well, like, I'm away from my family, I'm away, I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have a job. Soon, maybe. And so I started sitting down 10 minutes every day, writing down, what do I want to do with my life? Just 10 minutes. And then I just started writing, I would like to do this, I would like to do this, I would like to do this, I would like to do this. 10 minutes of just, I would like to do this. And then I did that for maybe 2 months. And then I spent the last month just summarizing. Like, how many times have I actually written this thing? How many times have I written this thing? And just counted all the times. And when I did that, there came this pattern of things that I wanted to do. So after a while, I had this, this is actually what I want to do with my life. Like a really structured thing.
Cool. You want to share something?
It was travel and play piano. and be out in nature. And I was like, okay, well, how do I do this? And then was like, okay, I see these things that I want to do. How do I do them? And then I lost my job, and I got a severance package, so I got like a few months where I just could, try out these things that I wanted to try out.
So you got a payment.
Yeah, for them firing me.
Nice.
And then I just started thinking, okay, but I know what things I want to do. Then how do I combine them? And just went into a creative state. And I was like, I love playing piano. Okay, but how can you do piano music that I want to do. Well, I want to be on mountaintops too. Well, okay, then I'll just have to carry up a freaking mountain on a mountaintop. Okay, is there a piano even existing that I can do this with? And it became this thing where I just tried to find how to actually get equipment that works on low powered energy and have batteries that are not too heavy, that are actually able to play loud enough. Uh, and then I made this weird PA system, piano system thing that is really portable.
Yeah.
My the piano that I have is like from this obscure French guy that was like, hey, can I get a piano? He's like, it takes 3 months to make this piano, but okay.
You have to use it for the.
You have to use it well. So it just became this, and then I started doing that, but then it became winter here in Bodø, and I was like, well, now it's winter, and I tried to play, and it was like 4 degrees, and I was like, this sucks, and this is super cold. I can't do it in the winter. So I just, okay, but I can't do it in the winter, but like this system isn't working. Like I need to test how this works, and I need to create material so I can like get people to come and see what it's like. So then I just, okay, but how can I do that? Well, buy a van, travel Europe, and then carry the piano up and film it with a drone. I was like, yeah, guess that's it. and then I just
So you did.
yeah, and so I did. So I drove as fast as I could down to Portugal because it was so freaking cold. And it was like -10, and I don't have like the car isn't made for -degrees.
No.
So I just lie there freezing and was like fleeing from the cold.
Wow.
And then when I came to Portugal, it was like I was so tired, but I was like, well, okay, I'm doing this. And then I just started filming everything, putting it up on YouTube, and slowly developing this piano mountain system. And then I spent 5 months just figuring out how it works and how to pack the bag and working out my body, because it's really heavy. You get to carry the bag.
Yeah. It's just the battery thing was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was heavy.
Yeah.
Plus the cables and
Yeah.
all the rest. But then you don't need the sound, the speakers.
No. The speakers are when people are coming, but just, the piano mountain bag. And the trip we did was a short trip. Like I went up to 1,200 meters. It's like it's super heavy. So I've just been working out, like trying to get my body to actually be able to carry the stuff I need to carry.
Yeah, so it's a big physical thing.
Yeah.
Inside of it. So you were there for 5 months and you played in a bunch of different places, and people can check this out on YouTube. You got a YouTube channel which is called
Zakarias Hauffman.
Ingenious.
Also on Spotify.
Also on Spotify, check
Yeah.
it out. And that's awesome. And you feel like you developed a system that you now can. It's still in evolution.
Yeah, I'm constantly trying to make it better. I really feel that this is a cool thing that brings joy to others.
Definitely. Actually, yeah, no, I've also had this vision. So 7 years ago, I went on this road trip in January. I was 20 at the time, through the Arctic. Rented a car in northern Sweden, in Luleå, and we went up to Kirkenes, to Hammerfest, and then Lofoten, and all this in the winter, so it was really cold. It was a pretty crazy journey. But I brought my saxophone, tenor saxophone, with me. And I played in a bunch of places. I actually have it recorded. Also with a strong just calling to play music in nature. And it's something that just makes sense to do it. Now I'm singing, and it's a lot more practical. No, I would probably sing on the mountaintop.
Yes, do it.
Then it's enough to just bring the Zoom thing and 2 mics. That would be really cool to do, actually. I would love to do that. But yeah, I get it. And this is also why I got in contact with you, because I thought it was really cool that you actually took the time to do this by yourself. I guess there was some lonely moments. You got robbed out of Barcelona and stuff happened. And
yeah, except for being in stores, I think I spend most of the time alone in nature, meditating and trying to figure things out about myself also a lot. What is important to me and how I want to live my life. So while traveling now in the van, I might have met 10 people that I actually interacted with and talked with for a longer period. The rest was out in nature alone, filming, and getting to know myself. And that was that is a big part of the YouTube channel. That I'm actually getting to see myself through the camera lens.
What's that like?
Really good. A lot of things that people have been saying to me. One thing that people are often saying is that I'm really sweet. Like, oh, you're so sweet. And I've been so irritated about it. I'm like, no, I'm a man. I'm a masculine man. Don't freaking call me sweet. I'm super cool. What the fuck? And then I started filming myself. And I was like, oh, god damn it. Yes, I understand. I am so fucking sweet sometimes. And it was so good for me to see that part of me and how I communicate, how I talk. And yeah, just see myself. Like, I feel myself a lot when I'm crying. And I'm like, shit, this sucks. I feel so alone right now. Like, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm what if something happens? I feel so afraid. I feel so and then I've usually been just taking up the camera and being like, okay, talking about it, because I know later on I'm going to edit, so I will have to watch it again. So it's a great way of, watching it and then actually seeing it, listening to it, and then having like a conversation about it with myself. So I've been using Messenger and then talking about the things that I've like listening to myself, then talking back to myself, then listening to myself and talking back to myself, like a self psychology thing. But taking the time to do that, and with the camera for that starts that kind of thing, and then continuing it has been really.
That's such an interesting perspective. So creating this content has been an inner journey as well, of like self-reflecting and of understanding yourself.
Yeah.
Because it is true, through this technology we have the chance to see ourselves in a way that was never ever possible before. It's like a mirror, but much more. So perhaps that can help us to get to know ourselves more. It's good because it gives me to hear your own voice as well, and to do this is like creating content in this way is yeah, you get to see all these things, and I guess you had some challenges as well in kind of meeting a lot of obstacles and stuff in putting things out online, and kind of to listen to our own voice and to see ourselves on camera can be so cringy sometimes, but it's really good.
Yeah, it can be such a good reflection of yourself. And if you're pretending to be someone else than you are, then I can at least feel the cringe sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like I think it's really easy to start when you're doing that kind of thing to start comparing to others.
Right.
Because you get judged immediately. Like you have this algorithm.
Yeah.
And that algorithm looks at how people are acting. So when you drop your first video in the first 7 days, you will know if it was good or not, because the algorithm will like communicate it with a bitch slap. And failing and failing and failing, like, oh no, this doesn't go, like you're failing constantly in the start, and it brings your heart down.
Yeah.
And then at the same time you're like looking at yourself and reflecting about it and crying on the camera.
And it's like only your mom and your dog that has watched the video.
So yeah, it's just it's a thing. But I'd rather much experience that than you know doing something that doesn't bring me joy.
Yeah.
I'd rather do something that makes me feel like I want my life to feel like I'm on the edge of the water. So I can exactly be able to dip my toes. But I need to jump a little bit.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be too much, but be on that edge of constantly having to jump a little bit.
Yeah.
Makes life exciting.
Yeah.
And following excitement is a good guideline.
Yeah. No, it really is. It keeps us moving forward.
Yeah.
Developing. And I think if we don't have that, that's when we get depressed and life becomes stagnant and dull as well. So yeah, and to make it into a journey of playfulness and not taking it too seriously, but more like an exploration, and actually leveraging this technology that is the internet, that has not in the last iteration of human civilizations, the past few thousand years. We have never been able to communicate. We have never had access to the whole world in the way we have today. Like anyone on the whole planet, anywhere at this point can listen to our conversation. That's 8 billion people. That is quite incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe no one will.
Yeah.
And that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that there will be people. But yeah. Really cool. So how would you like to move forward in creating content and in what you're doing now? Do you have a clear vision of how you would like to develop?
Yes. But I'm actually not sharing what's gonna happen.
No, that's good.
I can usually feel that if I share the things, my plans, it feels a little bit like I'm already done them.
Yeah.
So I usually am very I try not to communicate them.
Yeah.
And just do and show.
Yeah. That's very good. Otherwise, it's easy to the air to kind of, it's like you're popping the air out of a balloon.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But I will continue the thing I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And it will evolve. And I'm so happy right now because somehow it is evolving by itself.
Yeah.
And all these fantastic opportunities are just coming my way. Yeah.
It's so cool. When we follow a passion with dedication, things kind of just start coming our way. When we believe in it, it's like life is like, well, I believe in you too, because I am you. So here you go.
Yeah, that's a great reflection.
So it's important to have community and friends that support, and because there's gonna be those down days where it's like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this, but then you do it anyway.
Yeah, that's hot damn. When I was traveling alone, I realized how important that is.
Yeah.
It's having my friends supporting me through internet, you know, just sending a nice message, made my days so many more times than people think.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how nice it is to actually have someone, you know, you're creating something and they're like, hey, I watched this, it's so fun to see. Or hey, like this is so nice. Like it's just you get so happy when you're sitting there alone, like nobody likes me, the algorithm hates me, and they're like, hey, like I got one person, god damn it, that's perfect, like I'm happy with one person.
Yeah. Just one person.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Like some of the piano pieces now, I think I have like 50,000 streams on one of those.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and you have one YouTube video with like 25,000.
yeah,
it's awesome.
So that means that 25,000 people have seen me sitting on a piano, pressing a keyboard and like playing a little bit of music. I think that's super weird.
Do you have it streamed on like the video streamed on Spotify too? So you can, when you listen to your song, you see the video.
Oh no, I haven't. But all the musical pieces are recorded on the mountaintops.
Yeah.
So that was part of the journey. So I made all of these piano pieces.
Yeah.
And then I show them to the world.
Yeah.
On mountaintops or different locations in the world.
Yeah.
And recorded them at the same time.
Mm.
So they are all they're not in the studio. They're all recorded out in nature. Me carrying the piano over there.
No editing.
No editing. Some editing. Like I usually record like 5 recordings, but that's also because it's really hard to film a drone while playing piano.
That is really advanced.
It's like you know, trying to play piano and filming with a drone and then having the camera and like doing this by myself. Like every time I've done it, it's been like, I hate my life right now. I really love this, but I really hate like doing this thing. But then when I'm done that, then I just sit down and I record 4 times, and sometimes there's a little bit of editing because the piano is not the best one.
No.
Because it doesn't have weighted keys.
No.
So the keys are really flimsy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have something that's called half pedaling. So the pedal on the keyboard is either on or off, instead of being like a living kind of thing. So it becomes this. You have to play the piano in a very artificial way when playing with that piano.
Yeah.
So you have to, instead of playing like when I play on a real piano, then I can relax more, because you know.
Yeah.
If I happen to touch another key, it won't think it as I'm actually pressing the key, while this keyboard is like, okay, you touch this key a little bit, I'm gonna say that it's you pressed it 100%. And I'm like, dude, I did not do that.
Yeah.
So it was really fun at the start. I thought I was really bad at playing piano. I was like, wow, I've gotten so bad at playing piano. What is this? And then I like started practicing more and more on the keyboard. And then now when I was home in Stockholm, it was so nice when I sat in front of my own piano. I was like, no, I'm not gonna worse on piano. I'm actually it's just a piano that sucks.
The friend, and maybe you tell the French guy.
Yeah, I have told him. I was like, bro,
Your piano sucks. It's very
bro.
lightweight. But it actually sucks.
Yeah, I have to do so many things with that piano to make it playable. Like it really sucks.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing how bad it is. But it's also like the only one that you can put down in a backpack.
Yeah.
And it's amazing in that kind of aspect. It's just yeah, he's just gonna have to do it better, and he's working on the version 2.
What a journey. And it's also, I would like to touch upon this topic of content and AI, because now with AI there's infinite amount of content. There's infinite amount of kind of possibility of producing with just a few clicks music and images and text and all of this, so it becomes worthless because there's an infinite amount of it, so it means nothing of it really has very much value. It's like if there was an infinite amount of like painting, what is it called, the super famous painting in Paris, of paintings of Leonardo da Vinci or Mona Lisa. It wasn't, then it would have no value. So it's also interesting to kind of see how we can develop content that resonates with people, that connects with people as well. And even though the quality of your piano recording on the mountain might not be the top best, it's still you expressing you, and that's what people like and follow, because they trust you. They know that, oh, I trust this guy. He's doing something unique, authentic, and I think that's going to become very valuable, and even more for us to kind of express our own being, and not try to be someone that we are not. So I think you're doing that well.
Yeah. AI. Well, I use a lot of AI. All the mountains that I played on in Europe, I didn't know what mountains to go to, so I was like, "Hey ChatGPT, I am going to play piano in Europe. I want you to find me mountaintops, but I need it to be this route. I'm starting from this point in Portugal, and it can't be colder than 4 degrees. I will do it on this date, this date, this days, and this days. Could you please tell me which geographical points that have mountains that suits my purposes?" And it came up with a lot of options, and then I was like, okay, looked at them all. So that's a point of how I used AI for my own journey.
Yeah.
And I'm also, for me, people are talking about this AI thing, like it's gonna, like it's taking away creativity, and I just think it's a state right now, because because the music industry is creating the same kind of music constantly. Like if AI can pick up on what kind of things that people like, that must also mean that it's industrialized. It's the same thing over and over. We just don't see it as that. But like pop music, for example, like there's a lot of songs that have the same chords. It's almost the same song. Like they sing about usually the same things. So it becomes this AI is just showing us that, hey, you are creating the same thing over and over again. So there will just be a spectrum of, oh, we're doing something different now. So maybe AI is killing commercialized creativity.
Yeah.
and bringing forth a more human creativity.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna actually paradoxically force us to be even more creative and to leverage our creativity even more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, awesome. So, a final question. Do you have any advice for your 20-year-old younger self?
For my 20-year-old younger self.
Like when you were 20?
Big question. Start doing the things that excites you, and dare to be disliked, dare to be alone, and be a good friend to yourself and others.
So good. Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anything else you would like to express at this point?
Yeah, sending out good vibes and energy to everyone listening to this, and yeah, love you, bro.
Love you, bro. So thank you for tuning in to this episode. You can find Zakarias at, what's the name of your website?
My website is Another Kind of Company. My YouTube is Zakarias Hauffman. My Spotify is Zakarias Hauffman. My Instagram is Brother Starfox.
Follow, like, and subscribe. This gentleman, help him to be boosted by the algorithm.
Boost my algorithm, bitches. I need the monies.
He need all the money he can have.
I need.
He's actually living on a caravan park up in Boda.
What the fuck? Can't even afford my food.
Can't even afford to buy a fish in Norway. Well, they're pretty damn expensive.
Fishing by myself.
Much gratitude for tuning in to One Voice. If you enjoyed today's episode, hit like and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram so you never miss out on upcoming episodes. And feel free to share it with someone you love. Blessings.